Hi, I'm Danielle. I'm a pelvic health physiotherapist. I wanted to follow up from the discussion on the pause last week, where the video feed wasn't working all that well, and I wanted to fill in some of the gaps with some visuals, starting off with the pelvic floor and what it looks like. So I've got my trusty pelvic model here. She follows me everywhere. If we look down inside the top of the pelvis, so this is obviously the spine, and then your abs sit here. We've got your bladder, uterus, and rectum all tucked away within the pelvis. And if we remove them, underneath them all, we've got basically your deep pelvic floor here. So all of these muscles here make up part of your pelvic floor. They extend all the way from the front, the pubic bone here, with some connections into your ab muscles, and then fanning out and back all the way to your tailbone and your sacrum, which is the base of your spine. They sit around all of the openings, so around your urethra, your vagina, and your anus, to then give you bladder and bowel control. And then they also give support and lift to your organs, which is really important when we're talking about prolapse. They then have a big role in sexual function. They also then integrate with a lot of other muscles around your hips, your groins, your abs, and as well your breathing muscles, to then help with some coordination and support for your whole torso, which I think is really cool. That deep layer, I'm going to go straight into how they work because I think it's, again, helpful for some visuals. When we're looking at how they work, so if we were to look side on, I've got our three organs here, so the pelvis is sitting around them. Got our bladder, uterus, bowel, and then my finger here is your pelvic floor, and you'd have your pubic bone sitting right here. So when we squeeze the pelvic floor, it's going to pull things up and in to effectively sort of squash everything down, or like putting a foot on the hose to give you your control. And then when we let go, everything's going to lengthen back out again. And you can kind of see as it comes up, it's not just forward, but it's in a bit of an upward motion. And they also pull up and in. So it's often, I visualize it like sort of a jellyfish bringing all its legs back in. It's sort of up and in and forwards, if that makes a bit of sense. And then after any pelvic floor squeeze, we let it go again, because these muscles can't be on all the time at 100%. They'll get cramped, they'll get exhausted, they won't be as effective. I realize this video is already very long, but I want to quickly show you the surface level muscles because they're important as well. There's several layers of muscle, and the other ones I think it's helpful to know about is the ones that sit around the outside. So we've got a series of muscles that sit around the vaginal opening, and these help a little bit with bladder control, and they have a big role to play in sexual function, which I think, again, helpful to know that these muscles are quite important in that one. And then the other one we've got here is your anal sphincter, which is one of the muscles involved in your bowel control. So yeah, very complicated little group of muscles, but very, very, I think, helpful to understand what you've got going on down there. And before starting any pelvic floor exercise, look, I personally think it's good to be assessed by a professional, because not all of us need to squeeze our pelvic floor harder. Some of us need to learn how to let it go. And some of us actually need just some coordination with our pelvic floor with other movements. So I think it's good just to get that professional advice. So yeah.